Bleach dropped its official second trailer over the last couple of days, and I've been observing the rhetoric that has been spreading around the anime community in relation to the Bleach trailer. A lot of reactions are circulating, people have opinions, as they should. Some of them are great, actually most of them are great, but a few of them made me scratch my head. I scratched my chinny chin chin, and I want to make this video to educate those who wish to be educated about the truth concerning the matters that they're discussing. The first of which is this particular phrase, where you find somebody either reacting to the Bleach trailer or reviewing the Bleach trailer or talking about the Bleach trailer in general, and they'll say the reason why Bleach looks good is because Studio Pyro, who's the production studio for Bleach, cares so much about Bleach, and they contrast that with Boruto, Black Clover, and to a certain degree Tokyo Ghoul the second season. And I haven't seen that show, but apparently it was bad. And they basically say that the reason why Bleach looks good here is because, oh, Pyro cares about Bleach so much, as if to say that Pyro didn't care about Black Clover, or that they don't care about Boruto, or and I love this, where they say Bleach stole Boruto's budget. Now, while I would love for that to be the case just for the banter, that's simply just not how it works. And so I want to use this opportunity to educate to those who wish to be educated about the truth behind Bleach looking the way it is, and to sort of defend the fandoms of Black Clover, especially Black Clover, but also Boruto and other shows in general. You have to understand, in order for an anime to get made, there's a thing called a production committee. These production committees, you can think of them as the investors. They are the individuals who come together to fund an anime. Now, in order for an anime to look good, a lot of things have to go right. A lot of things have to fall into place for an anime to hit the screen and for the audience to say, that is a great anime. Things like the staff, the time, the resources. There are a lot of things that have to fall into place for the anime that you love to look so good. In relation to Bleach, or rather, let me not start from Bleach. Let me start from Black Clover and Boruto, for example. These two shows are long-running series. So right off the bat, regardless of the production committee that you have, animating a long-running series week to week is very difficult. It's a model that doesn't even exist in modern-day anime. At least it shouldn't, and it's getting weeded out as we're going along. The idea of being able to sustain a high level of quality for a long-running series week to week is unrealistic. And so right off the bat, like right there, that's the first point. Anybody who is comparing Bleach here to Black Clover or Boruto or any other show that's long running, you've immediately made a very big mistake. And I worry especially about the animators, like these poor animators who you see those bad shots of Black Clover that circulate the internet, and people are making the mistake of assuming that the reason it looks bad is because somehow those animators didn't care. Yes, they cared. If they could, it would look amazing. If they could, it would look stellar. Like, these guys work their asses off all the time. There's a reason why they can't put out the quality that you seem to want. And it's because they don't have the time or they don't have the resources. That's what happened. Long-running shows are hard to make, especially when you have to do them week to week. And so if the production committee you get, for whatever reason, says we're going to make this show a long-running series and then commissions the studio to do so, the studio is powerless to stand against them. They can't do anything. They're commissioned for a job. Once you take that job, you have to get it done. In Black Clover's case, it just couldn't. They could not keep up the work. And even then, you could see the director trying his hardest to make sure he could put out a product that lived up even a little bit to the expectations that people had. All right? So when you come to Bleach isn't looking good, or Bleach isn't going to look good just because Pyro loves Bleach. Now, make no mistake, Studio Pyro and the staff that works on Bleach, they adore the franchise. They love what they're working on, absolutely. But you could take the best animation team from every studio, put them together, and ask them to do what they're supposed to do in half the time, and they still won't be able to do it. It doesn't matter how much talent you have, you need time. And the Bleach staff has had a lot of time. Even as much time as they've had, they wish they had more. Taguchi, when he went online, and he actually said it, like, we're behind schedule. Like, even with all the time they've had, they wish they had more. That's how much work goes into it. And so this idea that's been circulating, I really wanted to stop. And if anyone is listening to me, hearing me talk about this, please understand, the reason Bleach looks good is not just because Piro loves Bleach, or the reason Boruto or Black Clover looks bad most of the time is not because Piro hates those shows. They have an inability to put out a good product based on factors they can't control. If TV Tokyo, which is an example of a production committee member who is on all these 3 shows, TV Tokyo is on the production committee for Bleach, Boruto, and Black Clover. If TV Tokyo says to Black Clover and Boruto that you're going to be long running, Studio Piro can't do anything about that. It is what it is. You've been chosen for a job, you have to do it. And they try their best. But for whatever reason, I don't know what the details are, but for whatever reason, the same TV Tokyo, when it pertains to Bleach, the production committee for Bleach just accepted that a core system would be the best way to put out the best product and make the most money. Bleach just got lucky, I guess, or rather maybe they just wised up to the reality of the new era of anime, that if you want to compete with these other flagship shows, the quality of the show has to be really high. And in order to do that, you need to give them time. Another thing that I think people don't understand is they sort of ball Piro up into this, oh, who's animating the show? Piro. Okay, that means it's the same people who worked on Boruto, or the same people working on Black Clover, or the same people working on Bleach. That is not the case. Just because a show is animated by a studio doesn't mean it's being animated by the same staff. And it's very possible for you to have 2 shows in the same studio with 2 different staffs and have 2 different levels of quality. Because again, the dependent factors range from time to resources to talent and everything in between. It is not a uniform relationship. There are many things that have to happen. There are many things that it's dependent on. Or this idea that Piro is going to take Boruto's animators. I mean, if they have time, sure, they'll do it, but Bleach has its own staff. That's the whole point. You go out and get your staff, whether in-house or out-house, whatever. You'll get your own staff. Different anime in the same studio will have different staff working on it. That's the expectation. So if you're someone who unknowingly spread that false narrative, at least you know now. Studios have different staff for different shows. Another thing that I definitely want to talk about before I get done over here is I went on a interesting journey watching people's reactions to the Bleach trailer. And probably I would say 4 out of 5 times you'd be watching a trailer or you'd be watching people react to the trailer. And when a shot comes up on screen, you hear them say, oh wow, great animation, but it's a still shot. Or what they're seemingly calling animation isn't animation, it's just a compositing, it's just a framing, it's just the effects, the particles and all that stuff. And I'm not here to decide for people what they want to consider attractive or acceptable or not. That's not for me to say. But what I will say, which is something that has been happening a lot in the Bleach community, is there's a specific shot, and I'll put it on screen right now, where it's U-Haul Ball descending from the sky. And they're like, wow, great animation. Now look, is there animation to it? 100%. But what makes that scene good is not the animation. It's the framing, it's the director of photography and his compositing, the CGI, the effects. That's what makes it good. Now, if you want to put that all together as animation, sure. I at the end of the day, I understand what people are saying. Like it's not like I don't understand what their point is. I understand their point. I'm just, to me, an informed fan's perspective, I'm like, if I can let you guys know what the actual terminology is, I'll tell you. And if you're one to learn, you'll learn. And inevitably that helps the entire community as a whole at the end of the day. That's what's most important to me after all is said and done. And to be quite honest with all of you, the nature of the anime community right now is such that what happens in the West is actually, it reaches some of these Japanese animators. The world of the internet, the digital space has made it so that people who say mean things about anime and animators in general, it reaches those people and it hurts them. I actually saw this one post where it was actually unfortunate because the Westerner used the word unbelievable or something, and the Japanese individual interpreted the context of unbelievable as to be something that's bad. And I think he either blocked them for it or went private or something. And that in particular was an unfortunate situation, but it really just shows you that there's a language barrier to begin with. And then on top of that, if you're not being understanding towards these people, you could push them away. And I wish Western audiences would understand. I really wish they would understand. What we have in being able to watch anime is a privilege. It is not a right. You do not have a right to this media form. You do not. Manga and anime are not for you. It never was. We are lucky and we are privileged to be able to enjoy it. We are lucky and we are privileged that the Japanese market as it exists accepts that a large number of people from around the world like their product, but it's not made for you. And so whenever you interact with these animators, whenever we're discussing things that pertain to anime and manga that have such a direct line to Japanese culture, you have to do so from a point of respect. Make no mistake, you being able to watch anime, my being able to make videos on Bleach, the love that I have for Bleach, the money that people make off of Bleach and other manga, that is a privilege you have been given. Make no mistake about that. And so you need to show it that respect. The entertainment you get from it, show it that respect. And you have to understand how far these individuals are going to entertain you. So Bleach fans, when the anime finally comes out October 10th, and it will be great. By the way, I will see the episode early. You're going to get an early review for episode 1. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. But when it does arrive, please adopt a spirit of understanding. Adopt a demeanor of maturity to appreciate what Tomohisa Taguchi and his team are doing. And like I said in my previous video, I'll say it here as well. The Bleach anime is a love letter to every Bleach fan from Kubo and Taguchi that simply says, thank you. Thank you for believing. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for trusting me. You have a right. You have an obligation as a Bleach fan receiving this gift to cherish it. Do not let any other fandom, do not let any toxic individual steal that joy from you. Enjoy the build up to the anime. Enjoy the anime itself. Enjoy it after it's gone. You deserve it. That's what we waited for. That is what we sacrificed for. And so I hope you guys were able to get a little bit of information about how the anime industry works. I hope you guys will come out of this not feeling like I'm attacking anyone, because really I'm not. It's just a matter of when misinformation is being spread, the best way to counter it is with accurate information. Not just like personal attacks against the person. No, just put out what is considered the correct information and let the people decide if they want to believe the lies or the falsehoods or if they want to believe the truth. That's ultimately all you can do. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll catch you guys in the next Rebirth video, okay? You take care of yourselves now. We got to make it till October 10th. We have to make it. This is your boy, signing off. Peace out.